All right, so it's recording.
行きましょう。
行きましょう. Let's get started right away.
Okay.
All right, lesson 30. Can you believe it already?
Yes.
And we're almost done.
I know. I'm kind of sad.
Well, then there's the next book.
I know.
But finishing Genki I will be... we'll put you in a great spot to tackling the JLPT N5. I am going to keep visiting the JLPT website during the duration of August, because I think during August is when the registration opens, and that will be for the first Saturday in December, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah. So, chapter 11, Yasumi no Ato. After the vacation.
Hell yeah.
Funny how this works.
It worked out.
And we're just going to look at the first dialogue of the chapter, and only one grammar point. And but this grammar point is very useful in that you primarily can express your own desires to do something.
Hell yeah.
Right? But then we'll also kind of go into, well, how do we express other people's desire to do something with a similar grammar point? And then I thought maybe we could do some reading, maybe some comprehension practice of some of the stories or reading parts of the earlier chapters. You see. Cool. So with that, let's actually get started on page 254.
Okay.
Dialogue 1. I am going to take the role of Yui-san.
Okay.
So that means you'll be reading Mary-san.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yes. 行きましょう。
All right. 行きましょう。読みましょう。メリーさん、久しぶりですね。休みはどうでしたか？
すごく楽しか。すごく楽しかったです。北海道で動物園にいたり、買い物をしたりしました。
いいですね。私も旅行したいです。
ゆいさんの休みは楽しかったですか？
まあまあでした。一日だけドライブに行きましたが、毎日アルバイトをしていました。
Oh no. That sucks.
Too soon. Too true. Too close to
Too
real
true,
life.
yeah.
But worse than arubaito. I posted also in the what was it? The general channel. One of my favorite songs of 2019. Even though it was released in 2018. At the time, I did an intensive study at UCLA over the summer, and I had this job which turned a little bit into a nightmare.
Oh, no.
And the title of the song is Hatarakitakunai, which means I don't want to work. So this is the gist of the song. It's I recommend it. The animation is very nice as well. So let's look a little bit.
働きたくない。
そうです。働きたくない。働きたくない。So yeah, let's look at the dialogue real quick. So Mary-san, 久しぶりですね. So Mary, it's been a while. ね? 休みはどうでしたか?
So how was your rest, basically?
Yeah, how was your vacation, right? In this case, right? Because I think in the previous chapter, Mei told us that she either wanted to go to Hokkaido or Kyushu. I think that was the conversation that she had with Takeshi-san. And Takeshi-san, didn't have any money, so he wouldn't go anywhere. And then I think it was with Sola-san, who also went to Hokkaido. But anyway, すごく楽しかったです, right? It was a lot of fun, right? That's probably also something that you can say about your vacation.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So the next sentence is also very interesting. Probably next week, I want to hear a little bit more from you and James-san what you did, and you can use this tari form. So Hokkaido, in Hokkaido, 動物園. Do you remember 動物園?
No.
So 動物園 is the zoo, right?
That's right, because isn't N park?
Correct, right? We know it as Koen, public park, but the N, you're right, it's park. So in this case, it's a park for animals. 動物 is animals, right? The store is moving, right? So moving things park. A zoo. So, and then, so 動物園に行ったり、買い物したりしました. So this tari form. So essentially you put, I know just briefly mentioned this. So you essentially put verbs into the, what we consider short past tense, right? The ta form, but it's not necessarily past tense right away. It works in a similar way as the te form in that we connect verbs. And then at the very end, right, the last verb is fully is conjugated and has a time reference. Like in this case, shimashita, right? So it could also mean, so you can also use the tari with shimasu at the end, for example, right? So you would say, 動物園に行ったり、買い物をしたりします. That would mean I will do things like go to the zoo, go shopping, etc. Here it is, 北海道で動物園に行ったり、買い物をしたりしました, which has the meaning of in Hokkaido, I did things like go to the zoo, did shopping, etc. Right? And this is also the primary difference between the tari form and the te form. With the te form, we can list all the things that we've done. So if you use 動物園に行って買い物をしてしました, or actually the last one would not really take the te form. We would just say 買い物をしました, right? Then you say, I went to the zoo and went shopping, but then that's it, right? So that has more the meaning of these are the activities that I did in Hokkaido, but the tari form you use to say there's more things, right? And you'll go into more detail with that next week. But does it make sense?
Yeah, so tari is basically like it's literally saying I did things like this, and this with that termination of past tense. Can
Correct.
you use tari in the present tense as well, or is tari strictly for past?
You can use it in the present tense as well. So you can say, for example, you can say, I am going to do these things, right? Tari shimasu, the present tense. You would say, okay, I am going to do these things, this, and that, but there might also be other things.
Got it.
So you can also think of this as, so this applies to verbs, right? Te versus tari. With nouns, we have something similar in that we have two particles, right? We have to, but we also have ya, for example. So to, right? For example, I can say 学生は Katya-san to James-san desu, right? So as for the students, they are Katya and James, right? And that would not mention anyone else, right? But if I were to say 学生は Katya-san ya James-san desu, right? Just replacing to with ya means, well, there might be other students as well, right?
Got it. So Toddy works in the same way.
Correct.
Okay, so it's indefinite listing or indefinite sense.
Correct. Very nice. And then Yui-san answers or responds with "いいですね." Oh, that sounds fun. 私も旅行したいです. Right? 私も me as well. I want to travel. 旅行したいです. Right? 旅行します means to travel or I will travel. 旅行したいです. So there we have the must stem plus tai. So she tai des. So I also want to travel. And then Mary-san asks, Yui-san no yasumi wa tanishikatta desu ka? Right? Well, Mary is asking now Yui-san how her vacation was, right? And Yui-san answers ma deshita, right? So. It was okay. In Spanish, it would be regular, so. Right? I wouldn't know. In German, we probably would say something like geht so, which is very weird. German is weird.
I believe it.
So ichi nichi dake. I'm not sure we have actually covered this dake.
I was going to ask, dake doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah, so dake we can attach to a noun like ichi nichi. Ichi nichi means in this case not every day, just one day, right? Ichi nichi dake, and this dake means only one day.
Okay.
And there's also another word that means only, which is shika, but shika and dake work differently because the grammar rules are not quite obvious. But we'll get to there. So with dake, it just means only one day, and you use it with any existing grammar that we know. So ichi nichi dake, only for one day. Duraibu ni ikimashita ga. I went for a drive, a fun ride, not a joyride, a fun drive, driving around. I don't know, right? It's fun, depending on tolls, taxes, what type of car you drive, your consciences in regards to global warming, gas prices, or electric. Yeah.
It just got so dark. Why?
But I'm sure. But I'm sure fun. So went for a drive for a day. Right? But ga mainichi arubaito o shite imashita. But I was working every day. Right? And arubaito here meaning part-time. Right? It's just one of these words that came in from German, but like more general from a loan word essentially, but changed the meaning because Arbeit is just occupational, regular work. All right. So let's look a little bit more in detail on this whole Tai thing. So this is a definition from the Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar. It is an auxiliary adjective which expresses a desire to do something. So something tai, right, means want to do something or would like to do something, right? But it's interesting because it is an auxiliary adjective. And we will see this really conjugates as an e adjective. right? We kind of saw hints of this in that, for example, it says Yoko shitai desu, right? So we can use it in polite Japanese and just attach our polite copula after the shitai, just like a regular E adjective. So examples, watashi mo yoko shitai desu. I want to travel too, right? So this is from the dialogue. And since we conjugate it, or we can also say, well, I do not want to do, right? I can say I want to do X, Y, and Z. I can also say I do not want to do something, right? So the way this works is we have the verb stem, so the must stem, right? So in this case, it's from su, yoko su, and su is an irregular, right? It conjugates to she must, but the she part is the stem, right? Same like, let's just go through examples. So tai, I want to, right? Takunai, I do not want to. So yoko shitakunai would mean I do not want to travel, right? For example, there are still so many unvaccinated people out there and you feel not safe, right? You could say, I don't want to travel. Could be one reason, right? You can also say, I wanted to do something, right? Kudomo no toki yoko shitakatta desu. When I was a child, I wanted to travel, but my family was poor, so we didn't travel. Something like that, right? So this all conjugates like a E adjective, right? We have the E at the end, so we have, and then E to kunai, E to kata, etc. And for past negative, I did not want to do X, Y, and Z, right? So for example, yoko shitakunakatta, I did not want to travel, right? So those are the same conjugation rules as E adjectives. Okay. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples using the conjugation rules from the previous slide. So example sentence, watashi mo Hawaii ni ikitai desu. What does that mean?
I want to go to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to go to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mo. Mm-hmm. I also want to go to Hawaii. Assuming somebody did go to Hawaii in this group, right? You can say, I also want to go to Hawaii, hopefully next year.
Yeah, do it.
We'll try. So Tai is also interesting in that, so it behaves like an E adjective, and this is also apparent when we use it with transitive verbs like taberu. So transitive verbs are the verbs that take a direct object, right, and use the direct object particle, or like taberu, right, like ramen o taberu, to eat ramen. Kakigori, do you know by any chance what kakigori is?
No.
Okay, you might have seen it on Hawaii. Kakigori is shaved ice.
Oh, well, yeah, I had tons of that.
Nice.
Kakigori.
Mm-hmm. Kakigori. Kakigori. I think I've seen it some. I don't know.
And then the kanji, is that kanji ice or is it's not snow?
Yeah, it is. It is ice. Mm-hmm.
So and kaki, shaved.
Don't ask me.
What is the verb?
Yes, kakigori. Yeah, I have no idea actually why this is the way you write it. But I mean, there are, let me just post this. I'm going to post this in the general. Kakigori. So there's some alternative writings, right? On kakigori, but I'm actually not sure about that.
Oh, icicle, ice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's written, yeah, it's written the same way as Mizu, but the hat goes on first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's good observation. Yeah, that's the only difference. That extra stroke.
I spent a lot of my time in Hawaii trying to drill my kanji, and I did not do very well. But I'm happy to say that the first 25 I have hammered down really well now. Now I have to do the other 60.
The other 2,000.
So that's fun. Oh.
That's good. That's good.
Whee!
Yeah, I tried to leave you alone with the Japanese because you announced that you wanted to read on your plane ride, but then that's it. So I wanted to respect that.
Yeah, I drilled on my flight there in a couple of days while we were there. And I tried to draw on the way home, but I couldn't because it was uncomfortable. But I feel like pretty strong about the first like couple of chapters of kanji at least. So that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's good. So yeah, kakigori o tabetai desu or kakigori ga tabetai desu. I want to eat shaved ice. Both are okay, right? And this obviously applies only to verbs that use the particle o.
You could use o or ga.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless. So I could say kakigori ga tabetai desu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this comes back to, because now you're actually this. Yeah. Yeah. The short answer is yeah.
I'll take it.
So usually what you see in college courses, there is a preference for ga.
Okay.
And I think that is more to drill home the fact that it really conjugates like an e adjective. The Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar has some examples where you can actually only use o and some ga. But it's very nuanced. And it's way further down the line. I also have the tendency to use ga when using the tai form on otherwise transitive verbs. But it, again, is also because it's been drilled into me, but both are actually possible. And also,
and then question,
mm-hmm.
Does this apply to ni or he?
No. Good question. So those stay the same, right? So you cannot say Hawaii ga ikitai desu. You can Hawaii ni ikitai desu because you want to go towards that. So this only applies for verbs that only take the o particle. And you can continue using the o particle or use ga.
Got it. Okay.
But for other particles, you still use the same particles. So ni, e, etc. Mm-hmm. And then for the negative, right? We can, for example, say onaka ga ippai dakara nani mo tabetaku nai desu, right? Onaka ga ippai dakara, right, means because my stomach is full, right? Nani mo, that was part of the last chapter. Nani mo is nothing, right? I don't want to eat anything, right? So because I'm full, I don't want to eat anything. So we can use this tai here as well, but we conjugate it, just like a e adjective. We replace the e with kunai, and then to make it more polite, again, we attach the des.
Got it.
Cool. And then I prepared a slide, and to let Jameson read it because he knows. Do you? Those are definitely not in the first 100 or so kanji. Okay, so honeymoon だったか, right? Because it was our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is jujutsu. Jujutsu したくなかったです. Because it was our honeymoon, I did not want to do jujutsu.
James did jujitsu this entire trip, so he would definitely do it.
I know, but it's just an example. Right, so because it was our honeymoon, I did not want to do jujutsu.
Honestly, I think if we were on our honeymoon and James was doing jujitsu, he would have definitely done jujitsu half the time. 100%. 100%. 150%.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a couple of exercises.
Okay. 264.
Yeah, 264. Let's start with exercise A.
Okay.
And that. Right. So this is just to change the following phrases into Thai sentences. So this is all present tense, right? So where there's a hai. So for example, the example is hamburger o taberu, right? A hamburger. Not a person from Hamburg, which is also a hamburger, but that's different. So don't eat me. Right?
Are you from Hamburg?
I am from Hamburg.
You're literally a hamburger.
I am a hamburger.
And you make cheesy jokes, so you are a cheeseburger, technically.
I am a cheeseburger. I keep that in mind. I'll introduce myself as a cheeseburger. I like that. So anyway, if I wanted to eat a hamburger, right? So if there's the hint hai, then I would say hamburger o tabetai desu. Or I could say also hamburger ga tabetai desu. I don't know why they don't put it in here. Both are okay. Right?
Okay.
If it was no, right, then I would say hamburger o tabetaku nai desu or hamburger ga tabetaku nai desu. Right?
Got it.
Right. So 1番 Mizumi ni iku. Do you know what Mizumi means?
No.
Mizumi is a lake.
Okay, because I know Mizu is water. And I'm like, what the hell is me? Okay.
Yeah, so Mizumi is a lake. So
and the kanji doesn't help because it's like
yeah,
shi, do, and suki. Totally fucking useless.
Yeah, water, old, moon. That's what I see in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you say you want? I want to go to the lake.
水に行きたいです。
Very good.
Hell yeah.
Very good. And 2番日本語を練習する。
日本語が練習したいです。
Very good. Yeah. I like you caught yourself or ga, both are fine. Okay. 温泉に行く。
温泉に行きたいです。
本当ですか?
Oh, onsen. Oh, because it's EA. Sorry. So
onsen. No. It is high.
Oh, okay.
It's just asking for. Is that also the truth for you?
Yeah, our Korean spa just opened up. It's like just down the street, and I'm so excited. Nice. So excited. Hell yeah.
Nice. Very good. All right. 4番ゆっくり休む. I don't know why you would answer here.
ゆっくり休む。ゆっくり休みた takai desu? Takunai desu. Sorry.
Yeah. Very good. Takunai
Can't read my
desu.
handwriting.
Yasumi takunai desu. Very good. Yeah. Yukuri yasumo. What would that mean to you? Any idea?
I'm assuming it's some sort of rest.
Yeah. And
is it a break? Like a lunch break?
No, it is to rest, right? And yukuri, we know, for example, yukuri hanashite kudasai. Please speak slowly, right? So yukuri is like slowly, leisurely. So yukuri yasumu kind of means like to take it easy, to take a little rest, take your time and unwind. And yeah, our earlier conversation, like, why would anyone say ear to that?
Yeah.
So programmed by society.
I know, right?
Terrible. Anyway, 5番、会社の社長になる。
会社の社長になたくないです。
Naru is
a regular.
Naru is a godan doshi. It ends with ru, but in
nari takunai.
Nari takunai.
Nari takunai.
Yeah. So 会社の社長になりたくないです。What does this mean?
The boss didn't go to work.
会社の社長. So 会社 is the company, right?
Naru. I'm trying to remember what naru is.
To become.
Become, that's right.
Right? 会社の社長. It's the company president, the boss.
Got it. Also, drunk to become violent under the influence of alcohol.
Funny.
I'll drop it in general. The kanji. Right. I'm just telling you what Jisho told me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. Yeah.
On the far right?
The kanji. Yeah, why that I don't understand why this showed up.
Okay.
Is that? Yeah, no idea. But there's a couple of narus. So this naru is often, at least at this level, usually is written just in hiragana, actually.
Okay.
Usually. But yeah, the one that you picked is correct too.
Okay. So the guy didn't become president, didn't become the leader of the company.
Want to. That's not
didn't want to become president of the company.
Sorry, more precisely, does not want to.
Yes.
Yeah, does not want to.
So in the present tense. Present future. Got it. Okay.
Right. All right. 6番.
日本で働く Why do I know hatarashi?
働きたくないな.
To work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, 日本で働きたいです?
That is correct. Now, your idea would you want to work in Japan?
Not for a Japanese company.
Yep. 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 All right. Kuruma o kau.
車をIsn't it 書きたいです? Isn't it an irregular verb? No, am I?
Kau, like
to buy something?
Mm-hmm. For example, I would
Kau,
say.
kai. So is it just kaitai desu?
It is just kaitai desu.
Oh, okay.
Kumo kaitai desu. I want to buy a car. Very good. So in all of these, we use the. Sometimes it might be easier to just use the must stem, right? So for example, if you, it's probably something that's, I guess you can recall the fastest because we started kind of with the must form, right? So like Ringo kaimasu, I will buy an apple, right? And then you just drop the must part, and then you attach tai to that. So kai, tai. This is one way to work with that.
Okay.
Very good. Nihon ni sumu.
日本に住みたくないです。
Very good. Yeah, 日本に住みたくないです。本当ですか?
Sumu is to live, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind living there.
Any idea which region?
Kansai, definitely.
Kansai Benwa.
Kansai, yeah. Sorry. Definitely want to live in Kyoto, I think. Even though the weather's pretty tough there. Like in the winter, it gets really, really cold for being in the southern part.
And in the summer, it gets mushi atsui desu.
Really?
Yeah, it's this humid, hot, nasty weather.
Yeah, I would still want to live there.
Yep, wouldn't mind. Okay. And this is interesting because usually so far, when we say we live somewhere, right, we use sumo in the te form plus iu, right? For example, wasu ni sunemasu, I live in LA, and so on, right? But here it is just you say, because this is about desires to either live or not live in a place, we use sumo conjugate just that, sumi, and then tai desu, sumi, takunai desu, etc. Right. Okay. Yugaksu, number 9, which is to study abroad.
Yugaksu shitai desu.
Very good. And finally, yama ni noboru.
Yama ni nobori takunai desu.
Very good. Very good. All right. That was simple, right? Let me just. So we already did the past tense as well. So let's go with the exercise C, right? So same type of thing. So for omocha no denshire asobu, and all of these are looking in the past and talking about kodomo no toki. So when you were a child, right? So when I said yes, I wanted to play with a train, right? So omocha is a toy. Kodomo no toki omocha no densha de asobita katta desu. Or if I didn't want to play with the toy train, when I was a child, I would say kodomo no toki omocha no densha de asobitaku nakatta desu. And this is more like general statements, right? Not like, oh, well, there was one time I didn't want to play with the train, right? It's more like silly examples. Hey. For example, 一番テレビを見る. So how would you say, when I was a child, I wanted to watch television?
子供の時、テレビを、見りたかったないです。No. It's子供の時、テレビを見たくたかったない。Isn't it? Nope, it's not. Hold on. 見たくないかったです。Okay, so 子供の時、テレビを見たくないかったです。
見たかった。
what?
見たかった。
見
たかった。見た。
Wait, did I write it down wrong then? I have たくないかった. Didn't want to.
Yeah, let's share this part again. Let's look at this together. So 1 to 2, right? Takatta. Right. So we have the must stem. So from you, it's
me. Sorry. I was saying it in negative form for some reason.
For the negative form, it is mita kunakatta.
Kunakatta. Kunakatta. Okay, so that's where I'm also messing up. Okay, hold on. So first off, I was making it negative, which it didn't need to be. Kata. And I was also saying it wrong. Okay, so テレビの時、テレビを見たかったです。
はい、見たかった。One way I started thinking about this when putting stuff in the past is I first got a solid understanding of how you conjugate e-adjectives and just the negative, right? Because the stem is the same, right? So the e in the present stays the same. And then, of course, the kunai, right? So replace the e with a kunai. So once I had that done, and I would take both of them, and if I just wanted to put these in the past, I would replace the e with kata, right? So if we replace the e with kata, it becomes takata, right? So now it's not want to, but wanted to. And the same thing for takunai, right? Or kunai, sorry, for kunai, right? So do not want to, or present. Sometimes it's hard to talk in the abstract. So let's stick with takunai. So takunai, do not want to, right? And if I wanted to put that still negative, but in the past tense, then I would replace the e here with the kata. So it would be takuna kata, and I can see takuna kata. So this is another way to think about the conjugation.
Okay.
Just another way, whichever sticks. So yeah, 子供の時テレビを見たかったです. Very good. Or we can also say テレビが見たかったです. はい、2番.
Oh, I'm. Wait, what? Oh, it's ko. Okay. 飛行機に乗りたかったです。
はい。
Yeah, okay. たかったです。
はい、子供の時飛行機に乗りたかったです。
Oh, sorry, I forgot the first part.
It's okay. It's implied. はい。3番、ゲームをする。
学生の 時、ゲームをしたかったくらいです。Nope, しなく、ゲームをしたくないかったです。
So close.
Damn
So
it!
close. So close. So you still had the E from the kunai in there, right? So
Oh, damn. Okay.
so what is it?
学生の時、ゲームをしたくなかったです。
Very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. All right. 4番. Ino o cow. And you see this cow is not the cow that we know, right? The kanji is different. So it doesn't mean to buy a dog, but to hold a dog as to as a pet owner.
子供の時、犬が飼いたかったです。
飼いたかったです。
飼いたかったです。
はい。5番、学校を辞める。辞める is a 一段動詞。
Okay. 子供の時、学校をやめたくなかったです。
ごめんなさい。Did I say 五段動詞? I meant 一段動詞。
Oh, you said ichidan, sorry. So, it's gonna be ri?
Nope. So for
That's goran dashi. So, yami?
Just drop the u. So yame is the stem.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I can't remember. 子供の時、学校をやめたくなかったです。
Very good. やめたくなかったです。It's a mouthful.
It is.
It is a mouthful. But let's practice some more.
Yeah.
So 6番。
お祭りに行きたかったです。行きたかったです。
Very good. はい。7番。
パイの
ピアノ。
ピアノを習いたくなかったです。
Very good.
なかったです。
That is kind of true for me. I was made to play the piano, and I had, because my older sister, she wanted to play piano, and then after 2 years she did not want to play piano anymore. But my parents had a piano,
a
upright piano in there.
Somebody's got to play it.
So somebody has, exactly, and that was me, and I enjoyed it first, and then I was, had like was part of. That was during elementary school, had like performances and then also with the choir and whatnot, right? So, and it was all fun. And then, so I would get like weekly classes at my parents' house, which was good too. Unfortunately, it was like at very inconvenient times later on. And the worst thing was that it wasn't a great environment to practice because my mom would always say, it's like, oh no, don't play that. play something nice.
No,
So you
that's so
can never
toxic.
practice. So you
Yeah.
can never practice. Not a growth mindset whatsoever. And
Sucks.
yeah. So I am very, very happy that I finally got the digital piano for Christmas last year. And because guess what? If it sounds bad at first, I'm the only one listening to it for a while.
Nice.
So yeah. And that helps me make progress. And should be like that, but yeah.
おめでと
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so 8番、車を運転する。
う。車を運転したかったです。
Yeah, お車が運転したかったです。Very good.
したかったです。
I got my driving license when I was 19. So late for Germany because you can get your driving license at age 18. I think now even younger, or at least a permit. But I got it in the military because you actually have to go to school and it costs a lot of money and you actually have to train to drive.
Wow.
Unlike here in the US, it's like, oh, you can't drive. Here's your license anyway.
Yeah.
So dangerous.
Congrats.
Thank you. But then again, I didn't have a need because, I'm a cheeseburger. I mean, a hamburger, So we have a working public transportation system. So there was really never a need for me to drive a car.
And you didn't drive until you came to California.
I learned how to drive on my missions in Eastern Europe. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. 9番、夢になる。
夢になりたかったです。
そうですか。子供の時、カティさんは夢になりたかったですか？
Oh, it's supposed to be positive. Sorry.
Oh, no.
No, I said
you're
positive.
Right. Yeah. Did you, when you were a child, did you want to become famous?
No. I really didn't.
How about now?
Currently now.
I mean, you are famous.
I'm not famous, but I'm people know me, and that's sufficient. I'm happy with the amount of people that know who I am. Let's put it that way.
That's good. Yeah. It's also the quality.
Yeah.
But you're a star in your sphere.
I am a star of I'm the main character of my life, for sure.
That too. That is true. All right. And finally, 10番。
ミッキーマウスに会いたかったです。
そうですか？本当ですか？
No, I didn't. I never really did. I wanted to meet Minnie Mouse and Bugs Bunny, but that was it.
Yeah, I prefer Bugs Bunny too. Yeah. Bugs Bunny was good. I
Oh,
also like Speedy Gonzalez. Maybe that's why I'm married to the person I'm married to.
Really? Speedy was a really good friend. He took care of his buddies and stuff. He was a good person, I think. Good mouse. Good character. Speedy was a good character.
Okay, so let's take a look at exercise F on the next page, and let's think about what we can fill in for number 1. So 今日はいい天気だからタイです。So what would you want to do if it was a day with nice weather?
自転車をしたいです。
So you can say, so for jitensha, we can, for example, say, we can use no, right?
Okay, so jitensha o noritai desu.
And yeah, so that no also takes the ni particle, right? Which is a little odd. So to ride a train, to ride a bicycle, to ride a horse, it for some reason it uses the ni particle. Right, so we can say jitensha ni naritai desu. Very good. Sorry, noritai desu, not naritai desu. Noritai desu.
Got it. Oshita wa yasumi dakara. Is that oshita? Is that full or tired?
Ashita is tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Ashita wa yasumi dakara. So it's saying.
Let's say, so yasumi in this, like.
Tomorrow is my break. Tomorrow is my break. Oishii no tabemono wo tabetai desu.
Very good. Very good. Right? Or can also use ga here instead of wo. But yeah, both are right.
Okay.
Very good. All right. What about the next one? So
tsukareta.
Tsukareta kara.
Tsukareta kara.
So you became tired. What do you not want to do?
Kaisha ni no.
Yeah.
Kaisha ni ikitaku nai desu.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's look at number 4. So Tanaka-san is a jerk here, right? He is a meanie. So you do not want to do something with him.
Okay. Tanaka-san wa Tanaka-san wa ijiwaru dakara ichijoni
together.
一緒に映画 Can I say 映画が? Sounds weird though. So I'm gonna say 映画を
Okay.
見たくないです.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, I wouldn't want to watch something together with people I do not like.
And he's broke anyway. True.
All right. Okay, Goban, what did you want to do more when you were in high school?
高校の時、
高校の時。
もっとゲームをIt's not Suru. It's the other one, isn't it? Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah,
Suru's fine, right? ゲームをしたかったです。しなかったです。
Yeah, したかったです。Very good.
I could have played more video games. I could have gone to more LAN parties. I could have gone to more arcades.
Oh, yeah.
Even more.
LAN parties were fun.
You remember LAN parties and like playing Age of Empire and like Call of Duty and like Quake on like, and you have to carry your computer around?
Yeah, I never played Call of Duty on a LAN party. It was more like
Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
Counter-Strike. That's what it was for us, yeah.
And all the Quakes and mods and Half-Lives.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest LAN party I organized, we had like 50 people or so.
Oh
So
my
usually,
God.
yeah, usually it was just with friends, but there was one thing that's, oh no, let's have a bigger LAN party. And then, yeah, I built a couple of extra servers just to host some local stuff, and then got a couple of sponsors who would like sponsor just like smaller gadgets for awards and stuff. It was fun.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, the good old days.
I know.
All right, so that went well. Very good.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's now go to something similar, but talk about other person's interests and desires. Right. So there's a couple of ways we can say that. We cannot use. I cannot say Katya-san wa ramen ga tabetai desu. I cannot say.
Okay.
For me, Katya wants to eat ramen. Right now, if you, for example, said that, right, then I can say, well, she said that she wanted to do this, for example, right? And we can say that using the to you form grammar point that we already knew, right? So we have a statement in short form, and then we use something with to you. And usually we don't use, for example, when we said so-and-so said, right? We could conjugate it to imashita, right? But usually, often we want to make it more vivid, so we use the te form of you and then with the iru word, right? So example, for example, great language. Konohamaru said he wants to become the Hokage, right? You can say Konohamaru-san wa, right? Hokage ni naritai to itte right? So this is the te form of you or EU, and then we use the past tense of the iru, right? So the te iru form. So closer it would be more like, well, Konohamaru was saying that he wants to become the Hokage, right? So grammatically, but nuance. So the te iru form is often preferred. Right? So we have a statement here, right? So Konohamaru-san wa Hokage ni naritai. Right? Short form, no des here. And to ittemashita. Remember this to ittemashita?
I
We did a little bit of that.
But what if the person never said that that was something that they wanted to do? And so you're asking them, is this something you want to do? Are you basically saying, did you say that you wanted to do this thing?
Yeah, so when the person actually did not say that, then we cannot use this one, right? So this only works when the person actually said, yeah, I want to become Hokage, right? So Naruto, for example, never did say that. He made a statement, he's going to become the Hokage, right? And so he did. Konohamaru said, it's like, oh, I'm going to become the Hokage, I want to be the Hokage, right? When his grandpa, the third Hokage, was still around, right? He wanted to become the Hokage so he would feel like people would take him seriously. But he was just a spoiled brat, right? You always say, like, I want to become Hokage. So you can say, Konohamaru-san wa Hokage ni naritai to ittemashita. So this works really when a person actually stated something that they want to do something. Right? So let's just do a couple of examples, because this is really not something new, and most likely I personally never use this ever. Maybe that's just the way I've been trained in recent years about making assumptions, and there are other ways where I can say, yeah, I think that person wants to do this based on observations, but it's something else, and we get to that in a second. But let's look at exercise anyway, because it is, I think, kind of interesting to look at this. So this would be exercise E, actually, on the same page, so 265, right? So this is something that you can also do with Jameson.
Okay.
So, so you would take on the role of a son, right? So in this example dialogue, it is just asking the question, right? So, Ken-san wa nani ga tabetai desu ka? So assuming I am Ken-san, right? Then I would say pizza ga tabetai desu, right? So I want to eat pizza, or pizza o tabetai desu. And then you would essentially report back, oh, Ken-san wa pizza ga tabetai to itte imashita, right? Which the stuff in parentheses actually doesn't apply to it, but we get to that point in a second, because this is actually an observation.
Okay.
So, right, but here you ask me directly. So, essentially you ask a question as it's there, then I'm gonna give my remark, and then you report back what I essentially said.
Got
Okay?
it. Okay.
All right.
よろしくね。
はい。
Okay, so sensei sama, 昼ご飯に何が食べたいですか？
sama じゃないですよ。でもいいか。俺が、no, just kidding. 私はラーメンが食べたいです。
はい。先生はラーメンを食べたいと go? No?
Where does it go come from? To 言っていました。
No. Isn't it go to quote somebody? To go?
To is correct. So to actually marks the whole thing.
Okay.
But then it's 言っていました, like was saying, he said.
言っていました. Sorry, I forgot that part. 言いました. Okay. So 先生はラーメンを食べたいと言っていました.
Very good.
Des? Is there des at the end of that?
No des, because you're already using the must form, so it's already polite.
Got it. Okay.
Hi.
Cool. 何が一番買いたいですか？
バイクが一番買いたいです。
バイクが一番食べたいと言っていました？
買いたい。
買いたい。Right.
はい。
バイク。Shit. バイクの一番がI've totally lost it now!
バイクが
一番
買いたい
と言っていました。
はい、そうです。
I'm not enjoying the review of this at all. Okay. どこに一番行きたいですか？
ハワイに行きたいです。
ハワイに行きたいと言っていました。
はい、そうです。
Hell yeah. Okay. 誰にwho cares? Why are we asking the same fucking question over and over again? 誰に一番、会いたいですか？
そうですね。カティアさん。
Is that おいて? No, that's an a.
会いたいです。はい。
会いたい。Got it.
そうですね。カティアさんに一番会いたいです。
私は一番会いたいと言っていました。
そうです。
Sweet. Or would I say, would it, grammatically speaking, wouldn't I be saying God this entire time?
Where? Sorry.
So, like, because you're saying the thing, wouldn't be, and because that thing has already been introduced in the conversation, wouldn't I use God instead of?
そうですね。
So, 私が.
Well, not in this case, right? So it is actually. So you can say instead of sensei wa, I think that you introduce sensei, right? What you said. And then you can technically use ga,
Okay.
but if it's just a continuation, I would actually just omit it because it's clear who said it.
Okay.
Right. And then for this last one, right, you can say like as a direct quote, even though you can say I'm referring to you, you can say still Katya-san ni ichiban aitai to itemashita, or you can say watashi ni aitai to itemashita. So both work, but no wa here.
Oh, okay. Got it.
はい。
何を習いたいですか？
そうですね。いい人になりたいです。すみません。ピアノを習いたいです。
ピアノが、No. ピアノを習いたいと言っていました。
はい。水を飲んでください。
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Hold on. Okay. Every time I look at the kanji, it confuses me. 根性の10末。根性の10末。何がしたいですか？したいですか？ Sorry.
休みたいです。
Okay. 休みたいと言ってました。
Yeah, that was a little bit more colloquial, but that works too.
Okay.
Right. So, because we have ite imashita, right? But then also in conversation the e actually from the iu part, whether it's conjugated or not, actually often drops. So there's all kinds of forms in that.
Good. Okay. I didn't mean to drop it, but that's going to be the new normal.
Okay. So let's look actually. So I think this is good.
Okay.
There is also another way, which we will not really practice, but interestingly enough, it is that part in the parentheses in the example, right? So we have Ken-san wa pizza o tabetagatteimasu. So this whole gatteimasu, let me share my screen again, is very interesting. And this is actually the version that I would use more often. Let me just tell my cat real quick that she has to shut up. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, told her. Sorry about that.
What's that?
So same kind of thing, right? So we have a mas stem, and then we have this tagau, right? And this is used to describe an observation that you make, right? So an observation of another person's desire can be described using this tagau, usually in its te form plus you, right? And this is a Godan doshi. Also an important difference to using tai. So this is still the full-on verb, right? So this is why we cannot use for transitive verbs the ga when there's usually an o particle required. So that's another difference between tai and tagaru, right? So for example, we can say watashi wa kimono o kitai desu, right? I want to wear a kimono, or I can say watashi wa kimono ga kitai desu. Both have the same meaning, right? So both of the times I'm saying, hey, I want to wear kimono, right? So when I wanted to say something like, well, it seems that, or my observation is that Mary wants to wear a kimono, right? I can use Mary-san wa kimono o kitagatteimasu, right? But I cannot use ga here because this kiru here, right, which is ichidan doshi, to wear clothes, right? I cannot use the ga there, right? So in this, it would also be wrong to say Mary-san wa kimono o kitai desu, right? That would be presumptuous because I am making an observation. I cannot make this a statement of fact. This whole kitai desu, it's really like a statement of fact, right? So, and I can say that about myself. Hey, I want to wear a kimono because I feel like it, right? Or I can say previously, right? Well, this person said this, right? Hey, kono Amuro-san wa okage ni naritai to ittemashita. That works too, right? But if Mary-san did not say anything of that nature, right? But for example, she always looks at kimono, she's like looking at websites, buying magazines, at conversations, she hints at, oh, you know, this at the summer festival, always looking at, oh, this looks very nice. I wonder if I would look good at this, right? At that point, you could probably say, okay, well, you know, based on all of this, I come to the conclusion that she wants to wear kimono, but it's still an observation on my part. She hasn't stated such. So this is where this tagau comes into play. Okay. So at this point, this is a little bit more extra information. We're going to pick that up actually, I think in chapter 14. So that's going to be Genki II, right? Okay. The second chapter. Just note that this is out there, and this whole thing of tai, this is really personal. Like you talk about your own things that you want to do, your own desires.
Got it.
But there are ways to express, hey, you know, this person said such and such. All right, how are you feeling?
Tired. This is a lot of information. Yeah, it's a lot of review, but I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. Then, okay, so I think then we can take a break here. Okay. But if you, just for future reference, if you ever feel like there is, if you feel like you want to do more, right, and you want to read a little bit more, this is one of the good stories that I've find Sowasan no Nikki, which is chapter 8 actually, right? But further down the textbook. Oh, those numbers are actually not correct. Sorry. I think it's 333. Oh, no, it's right.
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
This is right. No, this would, yeah, I was looking at another one. Yeah, so this is a short snippet, fairly short snippet. Not super short, but I think appropriate for like JLPTN 5 still. And also the exercises on page 337 are good. So if you ever feel like, hey, I want to read this, this is a nice little story to kind of test your reading comprehension as well.
Okay.
Cool. There will be homework. Yay, return of homework.
Yes.
Okay. Workbook, page 105. So this is all about your own desires to do things. I looked at it yesterday, but yep, this is purely you. So it's just tied as, not tied to itte mashita or any of that, as far as I can tell. And then besides that workbook exercise, make sure to also read and or listen to the dialogues, including the one that we read today, and then the other two of that chapter. And then also start to memorize the vocabulary of that chapter.
Okay.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you.